first batch of words that will be discussed here in Principle 1 are quick, quote, between, square, qualify, and hardware. The word quick is represented by the stroke of K, E, K, and W. When the sound of W occurs in the body of a word as in quick, it is represented by a short dash underneath the vowel following the W sound. Our second word is coat, which is represented by the strokes of K, O, T, and W. We have here the word between, which is represented by the stroke of B, T, E, N, and W. The fourth word is square, that is represented by the stroke of S, K, A, R, and W. The fifth word is qualify, which is represented by the stroke of K, O, L, F, long I, and W. Last word for this principle is hardware, that is represented by the stroke of H, A, combination of RD, A, R, and W. The second batch of words that will be discussed in Principle 1 are quit, equip, twice, twine, roadway, and always. And because this is only a continuation of Principle 1, the stroke of W in the body of a word is also written in the same manner. The word quit is represented by the stroke of K, E, T, and W. This stroke is the word equip, which is represented by the stroke of E, K, E, P, and W. The ninth word for this principle is twice, that represented by the stroke of T, long I, S, and W. The strokes that used for the word twine is T, long I, N, and W. The word roadway is represented by the stroke of R, O, D, A, and W. The last word in Principle 1 is always, which is presented by the stroke of O, L, A, S, and W.
Combination of letters represented by T and D is written into one long upward stroke.
First batch of words that will be discussed here in Principle 2 are listed, acted, tested, quoted, accepted, and rested.
The first word is listed. It is represented by the stroke of L, E, S, combination of T, E, and D.
TED. The combination TED is represented by joining T and D into one long upward stroke.
Followed by the second word, acted. It is represented by the stroke of A, C, combination of T, E, and D. Next is the word tested. It is represented by the stroke of T, E, S, combination of T, E, and D. The word quoted is represented by the stroke of K or combination of T, E, and D, double. The word accepted is represented by the stroke of A, K, S, E, P, combination of T, E, and D. Sixth word is rested. It is represented by the stroke of R, E, S, combination of T, E, and D.
Second batch of words that will be discussed here in Principle 2 are dated, visited, adopted, located, study, and today.
The first word is dated. Dated is represented by D, A, and the combination of T and D. Visited. Visited is represented by B, E, comma S, and the combination of T and D. The next word is adopted. Adopted is represented A, D, O, P, and the combination of T and D. Located is represented by L, O, K, A, and the combination of T. The next word is steady. Steady is represented by comma S, combination of T and D, and E. The last word is today. Today is represented by combination of T and D and A.
For guided, it is represented by G, long I, and the combination DED. The combination DED also represents dead. Next, is needed. It is represented by N, E, and the combination D, E, D. For graded, it is represented by G, R, A, and the combination D, E, D. For the word added, it is represented by A and the combination D, E, D. For the word deduct, it is represented by combination DED, OO, K, and then T. And lastly, for the word deduction, it is represented by combination DED, OO, K, and the stroke for each.
The word detail is being represented by the stroke of combination of DET, A, and L. For the next word, debtor. Debtor is being represented by the stroke of combination of DET and R. For the next word, which is credit, it is being represented by the stroke of K, R, E, and a combination of DIT. Now for the creditor, it is being represented by the stroke of K, R, E, and the combination of D, I, T, and then R. After creditor, we have the word edit. Edit is being represented by the stroke of E and then the combination of D, I, T. Now for the last word, which is audited, it is being represented by the stroke of O, DIT, and with a jog to emphasize the D.
And that will be the last discussion and the end of this